Welcome, demigods. You're listening to a mini episode of Ranking Rick Riordan, a podcast about Percy Jackson and the whole wide rest of the Riordan-verse. I'm Dan.
I'm Olga, and today we're reacting to the exciting news that Walker Scobell, or Scobell?
I'm saying Scobell.
Scobell has been cast as Percy Jackson in Disney Plus's upcoming live-action TV series. What?
I don't know.
Family Feud.
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of what Percy Jackson's all about.
Yeah, exactly. We've been waiting for this for a long time.
This is great news.
Yes.
It's so exciting.
Very exciting. Why don't you read from Ricky's blog?
Right. So per Mr. Riordan, author extraordinaire's blog, Walker Scobell is an incredibly talented young man who blew us away with his audition tapes for the role of Percy. It was obvious to me and the rest of the team that Walker had the perfect mix of comedic timing, sweetness, rebelliousness, snark, and heroism to embody our hero, Percy Jackson.
So Walker is 13. He's best known for playing the young Ryan Reynolds on Netflix's The Adam Project.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a big Percy Jackson fan who's read
Yes.
all the way up through Trials of Apollo. He even brought a Yankees cap to his chemistry reads with the potential Annabeths. Very exciting. What do you think of this casting?
Well, once we heard the news, we went ahead and watched The Adam Project, and we had a really great time watching him and his performance.
Yeah.
I think he did a great job. He had that quippy sense of humor, good timing, sarcastic. I'm not going to take no guff from an adult attitude that Percy just embodies as well. So I think this is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's really, really good casting, especially if you watch The Adam Project. It's you just he can saying he's a young Ryan Reynolds. If you don't know the premise of the movie, makes it sound like, oh, he's in a flashback or something. He's the main character of the movie because it's time travel and Ryan Reynolds and him are playing the same character from different times. So he is constantly playing off of Ryan Reynolds and completely holding his own, playing off of Mark Ruffalo and completely holding his own.
Jennifer Garner bringing some of the more emotional scenes as well. Yeah. I mean, he really feels like he has everything that he needs for this role. And based on Rick's blog post about him, they actually cast him or auditioned him at the very least before the Adam Project came out. So they didn't even take this into consideration. But once they saw it too, they were like, yeah, that's our guy.
He has the comic timing. He has the empathetic nature. Like he gets bullied at the beginning of the movie. Very much feels like, oh, I can't get anything right in school. Very Percy-y. And a heroism aspect. You know, we get a few cool hero shots of him in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say I definitely hope they dye his hair. I assume they will dye his hair darker.
He's blonde, so.
But he looks the part. He's the egg that I was so hopeful that they would actually go with the right egg. Great comic timing. Definitely big fan of this and excited to see. I mean, it's a great way to kick off the show and say, hey, you know, first it was great that Rick was so involved, but this being the first big piece of news out of it, it's hitting the ground running.
It's so good. And again, you know, we're complimenting the comedy, but he was a good actor.
Yeah.
Like, he's just very good. And the fact that he's this good at the age that he already, at 13, I think that this means that he can really hopefully grow with the many seasons that Percy Jackson will hopefully get renewed for.
I'm not worried about being like, oh, he's not really like there. I won't be surprised if there's lines here or there or whatever. But before his casting, before walking in the Adam Project, I was like, okay, is this going to be like a Disney show where half of the lines are like groan-inducing? You know, and that's not every show or whatever. But like, even if you look at some of the old Harry Potter movies, some of the young kids really are learning their way through the craft, and he knows his craft.
Yes. Yeah. He's got the right stuff. Good job, Walker.
All right. All that being said about Percy, I also want to let you guys know that this coming Monday, we will be having a new casting video where we'll be talking about all the Olympians plus Hades and really going through our casting from last year, but also diving in deeper, all the options for all the gods, especially as they start going into the adult casting now. And hey, if you're a new listener and this is your first time watching one of our videos, we do a whole podcast about Percy Jackson. We've talked about all the books. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a playlist at the end card for this thing. And if you're an audio podcast listener, I'm sorry we got a little bit off schedule with all the casting stuff. But we will be back again Monday with the God casting and then Ship of the Dead the week after. Thank you guys so much for watching, and may the gods be ever in your favor.
See you later.